to the Kentucky State Police, and luckily the police followed up with it, and they caught this guy backing out of his driveway on his way to go shoot up a Kentucky high school, and he had a map, and he was going to hit multiple schools, and had that lady not reported that incident, we would have had many lost lives in Kentucky.
And she was in New Jersey, so that's kind of the crazy part, just how social media connected that. I think awareness on how to report is going to be increased as we see social media keep growing. Because save lives like it did a couple weeks ago here in Kentucky.
Seth, you mentioned the parent's responsibility. Do you ever see a time when that's going to become something you take in school? A class, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Of controlling social media?
And, anything dealing with social media.
I could see that develop.
I could very see that. Yeah, I could too.
I mean, some people's majors,
Mm-hmm.
marketing, some social media marketing.
Do you think, getting back to kind of the rights and the privacy and everything, you've talked about the terms of conditions and everything, from a legal or a judicial standpoint, we see a lot of things, especially on social media or the mainstream media, about a lot of these mass shootings and a lot of the tragedies, and almost every one of them then goes back to, oh, well, their social media showed this, their social media showed this. Do you think that from moving forward in our society, from a legal standpoint, a law enforcement standpoint, a lawyer, prosecutor, putting together a case, do you think that people that are being investigated still have the rights to their privacy at that point, or do you think that because so much stuff is going into social media that should then be kind of fair game for law enforcement agents and stuff to dig into as well?
Right, so Harvard Law Review actually posted an article back in May of this year, kind of giving social media a little backlash, saying, okay, we know how the government responds to certain things and censors certain things and how they would act, but social media is keep it a secret. So I think tying into that, I think that plays a big part. And then I think the social media is, in cases like school shootings, tragedies like that, I think it should be opened up to investigation.
I definitely think it's important. You tell a lot about people from their social media. Just like that New Jersey mom, you can predict stuff like that. People post like legitimate threats on social media.
Do you think on things like background checks, that social media accounts should then be part of the background check application, so that is part of the background check?
I would say yes, because your social media says a lot about you in this world. So I mean, like I said before, businesses are already starting to do that. If you have something inappropriate posted on your Instagram and your future boss sees that, he probably won't hire you. So.
And even if you did get the job, then you represent that company now, and you have to monitor what you're posting, because they might not like what you're putting out there because you're part of their team.
You find out so much on social media, from religion to political views to favorite food. I mean, you can find it all. And so I think being a part of background checks is good, like they said.
Can you guys comment on tying off of some of that freedom of speech and where some of those lines should be drawn? So I mean, recently, platforms like Facebook have cracked down on like white supremacist groups and speech and things like that. Where do you think that the line should be? And then maybe even as Christians, do you foresee a time in the future when maybe there will be specific Christian statements or thoughts that might be censored?
What's going along with the First Amendment, people, that's what they were petitioning about. We have freedom of speech, and so I really do see what you're saying, and I see how you could see Christians being cracked down on as well, maybe not in the near future, but going forward. So I just think might be more platform specific, and I think if one platform handles it bad, another could capitalize on it and try to gain more users that way. So I definitely see what you're saying.
I think it won't more be religion that are censored. I think it will only be threats towards a certain race or group of people or beliefs. Like if a thing comes out, start talking about Muslims that are going to kill Muslims or Christians like that, I think those type of groups would be censored more than if I'm posting Bible verses and how much I love Jesus and stuff like that. I think at the point that there's a legitimate threat, it becomes a problem. It should be censored.
One more question. You did mention Jesus. So if Jesus had Facebook, what do you think he would be posting?
I would say a lot of people would be DMing him and asking him questions. I think he'd be posting maybe parables like he did in the Bible and stuff like that, Bible verses and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know if Jesus would have a social media because I think it takes the personal relationship that you have with him out. If you can constantly be getting a direct message from Jesus, then where's your faith? You know? So I'm not sure if I think that Jesus would have a social media. But he could definitely use it in a way to reach a lot of people.
Guys, anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure that you share with us?
What's your guys' favorite kind of social media?
Instagram. And I use it a lot for business.
I'll ask you this. You mentioned employers being able to monitor their employees and potential employees. What's your opinion on LCA monitoring what you post?
I think it's a good thing because we represent LCA and we represent God. So if we are posting inappropriate things online, then it should be handled. And I think it's a very good thing that they monitor.
We have a lot of responsibility on social media, being the face of this school, student body is. So.
Piggybacking on that, just out of curiosity, on the employer, I mean, we were just talking about schools monitoring the students. Say you work for a company. On your social media, which is your personal social media, it doesn't mention that company, that you're an employee there or whatever. It's just your personal social media. What are your thoughts on kind of your rights to post whatever you want because it's your personal page, and then an employer having an issue with something you've posted personally, even though it's not directly tied to the business?
I would say you might not have that you're a part of that business, but everyone that knows you personally on a personal level or just of you might know that you work there. So say Seth has a business and I work for his business, but I didn't put Amtech in the business. But I'm going around posting sexual things or alcohol and drugs on my thing. It reflects poorly on his business. So he might think that maybe that's what he does because he doesn't find that to be offensive to his business.
Is that